This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the zone. Good to see a friendly face, Mr. Joe Cordina. How are you, my friend?
Good, my man. I'm good. I'm a bit disappointed that Parsons ain't doing any interviews anymore. The little slag. He's on a private jets here and there. He's a bit. He's on that. What can I say? He's a bit stuck up now, isn't he? These days.
I'm glad you started with some Parsons abuse, but also, am I not good enough? Is what I would ask.
Yeah, perfect. You're perfect, mate. But I haven't. He haven't texted me. Nobody texts me and all this. Never. Even I don't think he'd do an interview with me anymore.
Oh, mate. Well, we have to wait till your free time, and then he might pop up again.
Yeah. Oh, I might just fly over to Dubai and punch flag out with him when he's there.
Please do that instead. Mate, yeah, good to see you. I know you've been traveling a little bit. You was away in Malta when I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
just enjoying some family time and maybe forgetting about boxing for a little bit.
yeah. It's a thing I always do every August. Though my family in Malta, every summer, every village in the whole of Malta, all the Gozo has like a festa, which is like a festival for a week. And ours is in August, the end of August, so ours is coming up. But I always normally go for the whole 6 weeks. Um, but yeah, we had a little bit of stuff on in between. I had to go to the embassy yesterday, Maltese embassy, to get my citizenship, which I've done now. So that's why I only stayed out there for 2 weeks and then came home. So I did that, and I ended up going to Portugal for a week as well. So, but now I'm back to the graft. I can't be plane hopping
Yeah,
anymore. I got a graft.
yeah. I saw you was in Portugal. I saw a picture of you with Charlie Edwards. Just a quick one.
Yeah,
I am a quarter Maltese, so
yeah.
yeah. But I'm rubbish. I've never been there. My granddad was
No,
from Valletta, but I've never been. So I'm rubbish. But
yeah, but yeah, it's a beautiful country. Tiny mind, but I think London's bigger than Malta.
it wouldn't
It's mad.
surprise me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's mad, and yeah, it's a beautiful country. I go there every year. My mom lives there now. You've been living there for the last I don't know how long, but yeah, the yeah, you need to go there, bro. And especially if you like a party, summertime, fucking mental,
mate, you sold it.
mental.
You sold it to me based on that. You sold it.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk boxing. It's been about 11, 12 weeks since the defeat to Anthony Cacace. Before we talk about what happened in the ring, how were the weeks that followed just processing everything that happened in Riyadh?
It's quite difficult. It was quite difficult because obviously I haven't lost for a long time. And the way it happened, it had a bit of an not effect on me, but it didn't sit well with me. So yeah, they wasn't nice like, and you gotta get on with just get on with it. You can't cry over the spilled milk. You understand? You just gotta get on with it. And you gotta fight them little demons that are in your head on your own, and um, the problems on your own. So yeah, I had to deal with it. I got a family to look after, so I couldn't dwell on it for too long. But yeah, it was quite difficult for maybe like a week or two after, and whatever else. But it is what it is. It's done now.
Yeah, I'm interested to know when you mention the word demons, if even when you've been as successful as you have, European amateur gold medalist, Commonwealth bronze, Olympian, two-time world champion, if still you can have little doubts that set in even when you've had the success that you've had.
Yeah. Stay there. Let me turn this dryer off. I'm an ex doing my head in. Obviously, two-time world champion. I'm doing the washing, the drying, all of it, mate. You got to do it all, haven't you? But
Not all glamour. It's not
yeah,
all glitz and glam.
no, of course. Um, yeah, it's regardless of all that, you still have it because of like I said, I haven't lost for a long time. I haven't lost for a long time. So in the amateurs, it don't affect you because you're not really getting, you're not prize fighting. you're fighting for medals and potentially go to Olympic Games and that. So you lose, it doesn't really matter. I've fought fighters 4 or 5 times, and I beat them 3 times. They beat me twice, and it don't really matter. It's because you both meet each other. You might meet each other in the Olympic Games, or you might go to Olympic Games or whatever. But it don't, yeah, it don't really matter if you lose in the amateurs. But if you lose in the pros and at a certain level, and then to go from there to there, and that's with your purses. And people don't forget it's your livelihood, it's your bread and butter, that's your money. Do you understand? So going from, and it's a brutal sport in a sense of business. Go from there, like your money's getting up, you lose one, you drop back down, then you got to try and build again, and you lose, you might go back down even further, and then it's like you could probably earn more having a normal 9 to 5 job, and it benefit you more because when you're in boxing, it's like I'm a limited company, so a lot of fighters are limited companies, and it's difficult, especially in boxing. It's difficult to go and get a mortgage or anything now these days because you got to have 25% of a gaff because you're a high risk. You're a high risk. They lend into a high risk person. Do you understand? You have one, like, this is how I'll put it to you. Before lockdown, and I injured my hand, but I was going through the rigmarole of getting another property. So what they said was obviously your 2 years, because I started my limited company 2 years prior. I think it was 2018, and they were like, oh, when you come into the end, then we'll do it, and you'll have your 2 years of accounts, and then we'll go through it. So when your money's stacking, and you've got the money to go there, to go and put a deposit down, but then from me injuring my hand, there's no money coming in for a certain amount of time, then lockdown, certain amount of time. When I'm trying to get a mortgage, they're saying, well, this could happen again. And then you've got no money coming in. So are you paying your mortgage? So it's a very, very hard thing to deal with, especially when you're putting your life on the line every time you step through the ropes, and you're prize fighting, you're trying to earn money, you're fighting to put a roof over your family's head, put food on a table for your family. In my case, it's for my kids and my wife. So every time I'm doing that, it's hard. But like going back to the fighting, you keep fighting, and you lose. You winning, you lose. You're back down there. So yeah, it's then you got to start dealing with, oh, do I really want to be fighting for me? I've been fighting for that for so long. Do I really want to be fighting for this now and going through all that hard graft for that? No, when you can go and get a 9 to 5 job, and earn the same. Then you've got to start asking yourself questions, but you just got to answer them. And if you still got that burning desire to go and do stuff in boxing, and the ambition to go and win more titles and this, that, and the other, then so be it. But yeah, it's difficult for some people because, like, I'm blessed. I've been in a good position. I've earned well out of the sport, but some people haven't, and some people haven't got the right people around them. So yeah, this I feel for some, but listen, everyone goes through a difficult time in their career, regardless of whether they never lose or they lose or win world titles. I've lost won two world titles, but in my head, I don't feel like a world champion. It's like I'm not satisfied with what I've done. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, that is mental. I saw an Instagram post you put up where you said 2-time world champion and I ain't satisfied. I think that was just the caption. I think a lot of people might presume that the hunger decreases after success, but it sounds like your desire is as strong as it's ever been.
Like, because this is the thing. Like, I always wanted to just be a world champion. Now, when you win a world title, then you want something bigger. You want something better. It's the same. You got a brand new car. It's a novelty thing. You have it for a couple, and then you want a new one. So it's the same thing. Or you get a nice watch. You wear it for a couple of times, and then you want a new one. It's the same thing. I've won 2 world titles, but they look the same. I want a new one. So I just want to keep better, and not only that, just for my personal goals also. I've always wanted to be a world champion, and if I could be like 2-weight world champion, a multi-weight world champion and so many times world champion. It's a blessing, and I'll be happy to do that, and it's with the help of God. Hopefully, I do, and but we still got time in the sport. I haven't really gone through the mill like other fighters. I haven't really had hard fights constantly. I've had a couple of hard fights, but yeah, it didn't really. It wasn't a hard fight as in it came down to a life and death. It wasn't like that. They were hard fights in the sense of they made me work for it. So yeah, I still got ambition.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the in the ring on the night. It was a nice start, but can you pinpoint perhaps a singular moment? Maybe there's a couple of different factors, but can you pinpoint, do you think, one moment where things turned for you? Because you started positively, very positively.
Yeah, I can because it was quite comfortable the first two rounds and the start of the third, and then when the ref said break and I stepped back and I had two big digs, it shook me to my boots. I've never been hurt before, so for me to take two whacks like that and then um, not recover, yeah, it was quite difficult. Difficult. And do you know the thing? Because I'm a fighter and I've never been in that position. When he clipped me, I just wanted to get back in and try and get him. Which, just I suppose I'm experienced, but I'm inexperienced in that department with being hurt and doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I was a bit inexperienced, and I should have took 5 minutes, and I should have made a big fuss about it. I think it was a bit of incompetence from the referee because he didn't really show like any interest in them two illegal blows, and he didn't even send him to his neutral corner. He was right behind him, and it was funny because I was watching it back on the train last night. But if I was surprised that he didn't knock me out and he didn't stop me in that round. And I was surprised I went on as long as I did. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, it would have been a lot different. He would have been out of that round to the next round.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm not going to say surprised, but just hearing you say that, I know a lot of boxers believe in their chin, but perhaps for you, was that the first time you went, cool, actually, I have got a serious chin because it's been tested unprotected like never before?
Yeah, like I know I've got a chin. I've sparred Connor and took big digs off Connor, and I'm a super heavyweight. He's a welterweight, and it's not as if he walks around on his weight. Do you get me? And same as me, I don't walk around on my weight, but it's still that big gap. And I've took big digs, and it don't ever fluster me, and it's all I just take a dig and I just want to get straight in there, which I suppose is not the cleverest thing to do,
Sure,
especially in a fight.
sure everyone in attendance enjoyed it though.
Yeah, of
You were both
course.
at one point
But
just
yeah, he was fighting a 50% Joe Cordina, probably a less than that. So yeah, I can't. It was his night, and that's what I got to accept. He won the title, and that was it. Um, but I just know for a fact if he didn't catch me with them two shots, it would have been a lot different. And it is like that saying: if my auntie had a dick, she'd be my uncle. But it's it's yeah. Listen, and a lot of people know that as well. It'd be a lot different. But listen, it was his night. He won a world title, and in a way, I'm happy for him because he's earning out of the sport, and I want everyone to earn out of the sport because there's so much money involved in boxing, but it seems like a lot of the fighters don't get the rubber to green, and he's one of them. I've seen he had a lot of bad luck in his career, and yeah, he's earning now. So yeah, hats off to him.
no, you're right. I don't think you can ever. It's easy for me to say when I haven't been in the ring with someone and they've taken what I've got, but I guess you can't really begrudge someone for achieving and earning. I know making weight is never easy.
Yeah.
I also know, like you said, you don't want to play the blame game, but was that fight the real tipping point for you at 130? Or was the Vasquez fight the tipping point? Or
Well, they were the two fights that like it was bad. I wanted, to be honest, I wanted to move up after I boxed Rakimov. But obviously, management wise and promoter wise, they just said that the difference of you fighting with a title and without a title, depending on who it is you're fighting against, it could be the difference of a few hundred grand. So why would you give up a fight? And I was like, well, okay. So when then it was just a sense of keep going until the wheels fall off, and they fell off. So yeah, they were both hard. I'll put it that way. Um, Only the people that were with me the couple of days before the fight would know how hard it was. It was difficult.
Yeah. What did Tony say in the weeks after? Because he would have been with you from the camp up until fight night and afterwards, of course. So he's seen the stuff that you're talking about. I guess he perhaps wouldn't have been too critical in said situation, but of course he's a coach as well, and I guess a strict one as well. So what sort of angle did Tony come from in the wake of the defeat?
Well, he's sort of the same as me, really. It was the two shots on the break that was the deciding factor. But also, he was like, you were trying to get involved," and I said, "Tom," I said, none of my faculties were there. My boxing brain went out the window. My legs wasn't there. My arms wasn't there. I was zapped, and I just try. The only thing I could do was just try and get involved and try and just throw punches. And unfortunately, it didn't work. But yeah, every shot after that was buzzing me as well. So it was like, and it wasn't the fact that he punched hard. Don't get me wrong, he punches, but it wasn't like a Rakimov or anything like that. It completely. That put it that way. If Rakimov hit me like that and had me hurt like that, he would have got me out of there. No, I got no doubts about that. But it yeah, it was just like everything went out the window. So it was pointless in him trying to tell me what I should have been doing and that. But he already knew that anyway. That it was them shots that hurt me, and that was the deciding factor of the fight. But yeah, he wasn't too critical, obviously. And then when I said about couple of weeks later, and I heard about the Warrington and Cacace fight, and I said, so why didn't we try and? Sorry, I lost you then. I said, why didn't we try and get that fight? And he was like, well, I think your time at fucking super featherweight is done. So yeah, which he's probably right. But at the same time, I would have liked to have put that wrong right. Do you understand? And I done the whack at it.
Yeah, yeah. So if your time at super featherweight is done, let's shift that to the side. Lightweight. I know you want to become world champion, but is there a fighter specifically, a belt holder specifically, just someone that tickles your fancy? I know you're going to tell me it's any strap will do, 3 x 2 weight, but is there one specifically that you're like, that's the guy that when we get in the ring, it's either going to be entertaining, it's going to make me shitloads of dough, just one at 135 that you're like, yes, you're the one I want.
Well, I'm just gonna put it in. I'll put it in different categories, right? I think the easiest out of a lot is Baranchik. You got Shakur, Gervonta, and who else is there?
Loma.
Loma. The most difficult is Loma and Gervonta. No, the most difficult is Loma. The most money is Gervonta, and then you got Shakur, will be the most technical. Obviously, they're all great in their own rights, you understand. But if I had to choose one, just because of either he was at super feather also, and after I won a world title and he called me out, would be Shakur. Like, I respect him. I think he's a great fighter. I'm a fan. Do you understand? I'm a boxing fan before anything, and I do rate him. But I love that fight because you only become great is when you beat great fighters, and to to be um, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And for me, he's in the top 5 pound for pound fighters on the planet. So yeah, it probably be him.
I remember there was a time where I was coming down to the Matchroom gym regularly, Um, and it was kind of like we were getting regular updates from Shakur over that side, and they were being fed back, and I was getting responses. And I don't think it was ever too forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't think it was ever like too aggressive, but I remember there was one point where Shakur didn't tell you to like in such a American way, like keep your fucking mouth shut or something like that on Instagram, or like there was a little bit of need or ish.
Yeah,
Right, was this 2022 maybe?
something like it was. Yeah, so it was after the world title straight away, 2022. But yeah, like you know what Yanks are like? They fucking just run their mouth, don't they? They just talk shit
They're
at
so
them.
different. There's the difference in
They're
personalities between the
all
Brits
crazy.
and the Americans is mental.
Yeah, they like. I'll be honest. They all think they're gangsters, which is mad. Obviously, a lot of the top fighters can fight. Do you get me? But as long as that they all talk, they're all great talkers, and they can all sell a fight.
They all wear big
But with
chains. They all wear big chains.
I know, man. I only wear two little chains. Fuck, you know. It's only because of my grandmother's, but yeah, like they're just so brash, and but like with that, they talk and they all think they're gangsters with it. It's crazy, but yeah, we had a little back and forth on Insta, Twitter, Insta, whatever it is, and yeah, he was saying he didn't say too much, like he wasn't really disrespectful or anything like that, and nor was I. Um, Anything he said, I just countered with something. But yeah, it was. I would have loved that fight. I suppose he would have as well. And yeah, it didn't end the battle because he didn't make the weight and he went up. But yeah, I probably should have done the same as him.
Hindsight, eh? A wonderful thing.
Yeah,
You're already in a pretty lonely club. I might be putting my boxing knowledge on the line. Are you the only two-time Welsh world champion?
I think I am.
Three-time would put some
Yeah.
distance, put you in
Oh yeah.
lonely club as well. Is there certain things maybe in the wake of the defeat you might have reset and processed your goals, etc.? Is there different things that you want to achieve? I know three times one, but have you got like a mini bucket list that you're mulling over?
Um, yeah, I'd love to win another world title, but I'd love to be like a different weight. But I'd love to just secure my family. That's the main thing for me out of boxing now. And what I realised is, even though belts are amazing to win, they don't feed my kids. And um, but yeah, I just need to secure my family now. And but along the way, I believe if I win belts at the weight I'm at now, lightweight, I believe that that money that to secure my family will be it.
Yeah, well, we mentioned the names and they're huge. I've got to talk about the potential of two of them facing off against each other. Um, Tank and Shakur, thoughts on that fight?
I'll be honest, I don't see anyone beating Tank in that way. I don't see anyone. Well, I'm at the weight now, so I don't know. I might just throw a lucky dig and put him a kit. But nah, listen, he's I just think he's I just think he got since he beat the likes of Leo Santa Cruz, his confidence have just gone through the roof. Now he's talking the shit like everyone else is now. Do you get me? He never used to talk like that, but he's giving it. Then he boxed Rolly, and he's giving him some. And yeah, I'm a massive fan of him. Do you get me? So